press love to show me that you can hear me, you can see me, we still have lots and lots of people joining. And oh my God, I am so excited. Oh my God, I can see so many hearts. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. So this session is going to be recorded because I got a lot of messages from a lot of people who couldn't join live. Of course, we have so many people in so many time zones, and we couldn't make sure that there is one time which works for everybody. Therefore, we have to make sure we record it. And I'm also going to broadcast on Facebook, because if we hit the Zoom capacity, which I think we would, then we have somewhere where people can watch live, because we are going closer and closer to hit the Zoom capacity. We still have quite a lot of capacity, but we can hit closer. So now it's being broadcast on my profile in Facebook, and I am so excited. I'm so excited. So I wanted to say a couple of things before we really dive into this. And I can see so much love. I can see so much love from you guys, which makes my heart so full, which gets my energy through the roof. So thank you so much for so much love, for showing up. For some of you guys, it's a very different time zone. You have blocked this time, you're here, you're present, and you have no idea how much it means to me. And one of the things I really want to share with you is that you coming on this session and wanting to learn about manifesting wealth, manifesting money, is such a big thing for me, because a lot of times when I start talking about wealth or money and all these things, I get a lot of, oh my God, Sophie, thank you so much. I get a lot of backlash, like, why do I talk about money? How dare I talk about money? And people like you guys who show up, you show up for me as well. You show up for this, that there are still people who know deep down that they're meant for more. There are people who have this feeling, and they are looking for the answers, and that is really matters to me so much. So I'm really grateful for all of you guys for showing up. You have no idea how much it matters to me. So thank you so much. Now, before we really dive in, I wanted to say a couple of things that I would love for you to consider this program like a paid program. And there is a reason why I'm saying that, because from my end, I'm giving you my heart and soul. I'm giving you everything. I'm giving you all of that. Okay? And in order for you to really receive that, for you to really land with this and really embody this and take this information, if you consider it like a paid program, you would pay even more attention. So for a little bit, imagine that you paid for this, and it's your money at stake. Like, you are paying full attention, and you are really in the zone, in the game, and you're really playing full out. And when I say playing full out, sometimes we hear it and it's like our mind is wandering, or we are thinking about something, and sometimes we are in the spirit of it. We are so indulged and involved in this, and we are so, like, we can feel it, that our mind, our body is all in the program. And that's how I am feeling right now. And if you're feeling the same way, I need another heart, because I'm just loving the heart. Every time you give me a heart, my love just starts overflowing. So I love this. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I would love for you to see this conversation like we're having this conversation in the living room. So I'm sitting, oh my God, that's so many hearts. Oh, thank you. Imagine that I'm not on Zoom, I'm sitting in your living room right opposite you. Maybe you've just offered me a coffee. I just had coffee, so I'll assume you made it for me. Thank you. And I'm sitting right opposite you, and we are having this conversation. Imagine that. And imagine I'm having this deep connection and deep conversation with you, and we are going places together. That's how I would love for you to take this program. Not like I'm trying to teach you something, or I'm teaching you these 5 steps, 10 steps. No, we are having a conversation. We are having a conversation over coffee, and our hearts are open. We are open to receive. We are open to receive this information, and we are open to look at money in a very different way. Because when I started to see money in a very different way, money responded in a very different way. and everything just changed. Everything. And I have been really open about my situation. Like, in fact, on Facebook, I've shared a lot of times the pictures of the house where I started, how my background was. Like, if I can do this, anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. So I have no doubt whatsoever for you. I know that you can do this. So one thing that I really want to give to you is my belief. I'm handing you my belief in you. So if your belief is not just there yet, please take my belief. Please take my belief. Please borrow it, because I have unwavering faith in you. And I know that whatever you want is inevitable. You can't even avoid it. It's not possible. It's inevitable. Try avoiding it. It's not even inevitable. It's not inevitable. You won't be able to avoid it. So I am sitting in my living room. It's a tiny little room with huge windows on the side, and there are blue curtains hanging, and I'm watching TV. And all of a sudden, I hear a door knock, like somebody's knocking at a door. And while I was so engrossed in the TV and also hearing the birds chirping outside, I opened the door, and I thought, oh, there's some letter, there's something there. And when I open that letter and I see that letter, I feel like I really need to sit down. It's a great shock. Like, it's crazy. How will we do this? And while I'm reading the whole thing over and over again, and my blood pressure is like I feel like the blood is literally gushing up and down my body, and I feel like I'm numb. I'm getting numb. How would I tell this to my husband? What will happen? How will we survive? And I'm just in these thoughts, and then my husband comes in the house, and he's like, "What's wrong? You look quite red. You look quite anxious. What's wrong? What happened?" And I tell him that we have just got an eviction notice. And do you want to see the letter? Because I can't tell him anymore. I can't talk. And he looks at it and he's like, "Don't worry, you'll be okay." And I'm like, "How will we be okay?" He's like, "Don't worry, we'll be fine." And while I'm in these thoughts, like he's telling me that, "Don't worry, we'll start viewing the houses, we'll start looking for the property. Don't worry, it will be all okay." So we are living in this 1-bedroom flat, tiny flat. And the problem was that the walls in that flat were too, like, you could hear the sound, you could hear other people talking. If somebody's flushing their toilet, you could hear them, like you could hear the flush sound. And that's how our neighbors started to get a lot of problems from us, because if we are using toilet in the middle of the night, they're causing problems. If I'm hungry, I want to eat something because I was pregnant at that time, then they have a problem. And why is she eating? We can hear the microwave sound. So because of all that, we were given eviction notice, and our landlord was quite rude to us. He had been coming and being really, really disrespectful. And I tell my husband that in a way it will be good if we can leave this property, but where will we go? And I have this desire to have a huge house, to have lots and lots of living room where we can invite lots of people. We have a big family where we can all gather, and I can do parties, and I can have so many gatherings. And I'm just thinking, we don't even have probably a 1-bedroom to live at this point. We will be quite out of this place. And what about that dream, that vision that I have? And then something inside me, because I was also doing this work, I was learning manifesting and all those things, something inside me, and this whole masterclass is all about the how, because I know a lot of people say, "How did you do that? How did you manifest the 22-room house? How did this happen?" So this is all about the how, but I really want to share with you what happened. I think there is a bit of noise. So when then we started looking over the weekend. Every weekend we used to go and look for the houses. And I don't know how much you're aware about the market and the houses around London and in London. They're tiny houses. So many houses are so tiny. It's like blocks and blocks. And every time we would go and see the house, we'd be like, "Oh, this is not what we want. This is not what we desire. And we would be so frustrated. And the prices were like sky high, like they were so high. And then there is this pressure that we need to find a house we like, but at the same time, we are being evicted from the property. And we have 3 months. If we don't evict within 3 months, he can take us to court. So that's what we had. Let's talk about the pressure. And when people say detachment, you shouldn't be attached to the outcome. Oh, we had 3 months, or we are in the court. So I'm going to break down all the hows, because in this situation, we had a lot of pressure. We had a deadline. We had a time thing. Okay. And then we are looking at houses, and months are going by. We cannot find anything. And I still, in my imagination, living in that huge mansion with lots and lots of rooms and huge living rooms, and seeing people coming and feeling like I'm that woman and all those things while we are going through this. And how did I stay on that frequency and everything I'm going to mention. I'm going to really break it down in this program. So one day I'm at work, and my husband sent me a message and saying, have you seen this? Is it real or it's a prank? And when I opened that link, it was a house with horse stables. It was a house with bird sanctuary, a pool, lots and lots of rooms, and a huge garden, like 700 square meter garden, like huge house. And I'm telling him, it can't be true. This can't be true. And he's saying, we just decided, let's go and look at the houses. We have nothing to lose. We haven't found anything really. So let's just go and look at the house. And when we entered that property, like it has a in and out driveway around London, in and out driveway, like miracle, right? And we get in, and the moment we enter the property, and the state agent, like in America, we say realtor, in UK, we call it state agent. He's with my husband, and I'm telling them, guys, can you stay with me? Because this house is huge. I think I'm going to get lost, and I don't want to get lost. Can you please stay with me? And we're looking at the house, and we just fell in love. It's like when you have something in your mind and it comes in physical, and you're like, oh, this is exactly what I want. This is like a reflection of what I want. And then we fall in love with it. But when we realize the price of the house and how much it cost, we don't have the money. We can't even get it on mortgage. Not at all. We can't afford it based on our income, based on all of that, we can't. But at that point, I made a decision that I'm seeing myself living in this house. This house is ours. Like I was living there in my mind every single day. And so we talk about that we look at money and decide, but money responds to our decisions. This is such a big thing. Money is waiting for you. Money is waiting for you. What are you deciding? What are you asking for? So I'm still holding that house in my mind, in my vision. I'm seeing myself like I am in it. And then I had this inspired idea that what if I apply for different jobs? What if I start looking for different jobs? And I landed this interview where I went. And because I was doing the identity work and all of that, which I'm going to share with you, when I went in, I gave the interview. It went really well. And I remember when I got in the room, the guy was like, a lot of people pretend they're really good. I want you to prove it to me, right? And when I came out, I got a call that you're in. You have got the job. And it was 2 levels up my current job. And I told them, I don't want this job. I want more money, because I was still thinking about that house, right? And then I got, within like 15, 20 minutes, they said, you're so good that we have changed the role and we have given you a bigger role. And we are now giving you 3x your income. Like my income was 3x. They didn't know it was 3x, but the income they were giving me and the income I had, it was literally 3x. And then at the same time, my husband is looking, and he found the exact same role as a consultant, as a self-employed, and his income went 5x. And now we can get that Howden mortgage, like our salaries join, and we can go and get that house. We call that the realtor, the state agent, and he's like, sorry, there's a huge developer who has already put the offer, and they're about to close it. So I'm sorry, you're a bit late. You have just you just missed it. So and then we are really upset. We are thinking, what's going to happen? But I still deep down, I knew that it's going to be our house. We're looking for other houses because we have got eviction notice still, there. But then we got a call in a few weeks from the realtor saying the deal went fall through and you can still get that house. And we got that house. Like, we played the offer, we got this out. Now we don't have the money for the deposit because the house that side and the price, you need a lot of money. We needed 200,000 cash, 200,000 pounds cash for the deposit. And now all of a sudden, my husband realized that he has got some shares in one of the companies, British Telecom, and he just realized that the share price has gone really high, and it hasn't gone this high even until now, ever. So it was the highest it ever been for such a long time. And our money summed up to exactly what the deposit was and our savings and all of that. And you know what? We got the house. So one thing that is really, really important to see is that money responds to your frequency. Money responds to your frequency. And the other thing, what I really wanted to talk about, that we are told a lot of times that you have to be high vibe. You have to be happy to manifest. And while we were going through this process, while we were doing all those things, I went through one of the worst nightmares of my life. I had miscarriage. Like, I miscarried our first child, and it was such a heartbreaking experience. I went to the hospital, and I had like so many complications. So for 2 weeks, I was completely heartbroken and such a bad place. But it doesn't mean that you need to be happy to manifest. So this is one biggest thing that I really want to break it for you. Biggest myth, that you do not need to be happy to manifest. Sometimes you can have the greatest manifestations from a very low point in your life. Now, what I really want to clarify is that what we really manifest is what we are conscious of being. So let's say that I still believe that we'll get the house. I still see myself living in that house. That means I will manifest that house. Now, when I'm sad, it doesn't mean my manifestation will be delayed, because I can be low vibe. Like, I can feel low, I can feel down because I went through such a big thing in my life. But at the same time, it has nothing to do with my manifestation. So there are so many people out there who teach this, that you have to be very happy to manifest. You have to feel really good all the time. No. What you need is the consciousness of who you are. And I had one of my clients has this huge breakthrough. He said to me that I felt quite happy, but I didn't know this was my identity. This was my concept of myself. This was my perception of myself. So you can be a very happy person, but your concept of yourself could be very low. So you will always manifest. You are the match for what you're conscious of being. So the way that you can test it is that if something happened in your life and you're very sad about it, would you still be sad if you had that thing? So would I be sad when I'm living in this house and I have a miscarriage? Of course I'll be sad. I wouldn't say, oh, now I've got a mention, so I'm not sad about losing a baby. I will still be very, very sad. So we need to completely separate manifesting money or manifesting anything with being happy. Because when you are happy, you will manifest more happiness. But in order to manifest money, it's about wealth consciousness. It's about what you're conscious of being. And that's why a lot of rich people are sometimes they're angry and they're annoyed. So there is no such criteria that all rich people are happy and all poor people are sad. You can be happy, you can be sad, you can feel all your emotions, and you can manifest whatever you want. So first of all, I want to really give yourself the permission to feel all your emotions. We don't need toxic positivity. We need to feel everything. We're allowed to feel everything. Now, the second thing what I really want to talk about is that money is responding to you. Money is responding to you. This is really, really important, that money is responding to your vibration. So when we were buying that house and we were doing all those things, money wasn't even there. But because we had the consciousness, that's why the money showed up. So what we want to understand is that we have absolute power over money. We have absolute power. But how many times we look at money and we make the decision? How many times we look at our money or our bank account and we make a decision of what we want, what we desire, right? However, money is waiting for you. Money is waiting for your desire. So the strongest thing that we have as human beings, as the spiritual beings, is desire. And money responds to your desire. And your desire can pull money out of nowhere. So you have absolute power over money. We have absolute power over money. It's our slave. It's asking for permission. Where do you want me to go? And if you're saying, but I'm looking at you and saying, what can I get? What can I have? Then money becomes the lead, but it's never the leader. It doesn't decide anything. So the other thing, what we really want to look at is that right now, you have a money frequency. And this is really important. If I can get this to you, if I can really transfer this concept to you, I've literally done my job. Right now, you have a money frequency. That means that your body is vibrating right now, because everything is vibrating. Law of vibration, everything is vibrating. It appears to be still, but it's always vibrating. And you have a money frequency, and you are vibrating from as that point when it comes to money. It's a specific number. Like you have right now in your houses, wherever you are, even if you're in the park, wherever you are, there is a temperature there. And I can ask you, what's the temperature in your home? And you can tell me it's this degrees or whatever. Like that, I can ask you, what is your money temperature? There is a money temperature you have. You are programmed 98% of the time to attract certain amount of money, which is a number, which is not abstract. It's specific, as specific as the finest scent. And what you want to see is that you are programmed to attract that money. It's not even about that. A lot of people say you have to take action. You don't have to take action. Your action, your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions are all connected. When you think, you feel, your body moves. And I can show you a really annoying example, but I can show you a really quick example. Okay. So let's say that I scratch right now. Imagine I'm scratching the wall with my nails. I'm so sorry for this example, but it will really give you the breakthrough. I'm scratching the wall with my nails. Do you feel this? Like, I can see your expression like, stop it. Some people are not bothered. They're like, I'm fine, and don't worry. But some people are like, just stop it. It's annoying me. And I can feel that twitch in your body, like, oh. So what happened? You just imagined, because I'm not doing it in real. I just did it. Like, I just made you imagine. Then you felt it and your body moved. So your body, your action is very much connected to how you think, how you feel. So when people say, oh, just take action, just go and take action, doesn't matter what action you take, because you have a money frequency. You have a money frequency, which is reflected to you every single month in your bank account. Every single month, you get a statement of your money frequency. This is your money frequency. And it is to the finest detail. And what we want to understand is that then there are deeper frequencies. So some people are programmed to spend everything that they attract every month. Right? So it's like, I spend all my money. So for me, money is just enough because I'm programmed to spend it all. So even if I give you 10,000 more, you will spend it. Why? Because you're programmed to spend it all. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're programmed to spend the money. And for some people, they spend more than they attract. So they will always have some kind of debt. So I knew this person. Of course, I'm not going to start saying like anything, like names and specific things, but I knew a person who always has a debt of 9,000, always on credit card, always. No matter how much money she made, how much she did, she always had somehow 9,000. And now she has completely broken through and she's a millionaire. But until she did the work, she always had something. So for some of us, it's like, I spend it all. For some of us, there's a frequency that I save this much and this is how much I spend. This is what I'm programmed to do. And for some people, it's like, no matter how much money you give me, I'll always have this number debt. Somehow, that number debt is always there. How? You don't need to even understand or consciously, because you're programmed. So what we want to really understand is that you're programmed to attract certain amount of money, and that is your wealth consciousness, your money frequency right now, and that's how you think, how you feel, how you act. And there was a study done on this, that there was a salesperson who was always doing $1 million worth of sales every single year. And once he attended like a seminar, so it's in psycho-cybernetics, Maxwell Moore, Psycho-Cybernetics, such a powerful book to study this. And he attended this conference and he got really, really excited. And he said, I want to attract more money. I will do more sales, and I will show, my boss that look how well I'm doing. So for 1 month, he did 400K. And all of a sudden, he got sick. He got sick. Because if he went with the same threshold, he would have exceeded his frequency by the end of the year. So what happened? He got sick. Was it under his control that he got sick? No. So it's not even under your conscious control. So if you say, I'm going to break my money frequency, I'm going to work 18 hours a day, I'm not even going to sleep. Try that. 98% of the time you're controlled. It's not safe for you to attract more money. So your mind, it's like, let's take this example. You have a certain temperature in your house right now. I know we are in summers, but let's assume you're in December and it's really, really cold and it's snowing wherever you are. And your house temperature is really cold. And you set a temperature to maintain the heating because you don't want to get cold. And then all of a sudden, somebody came, your partner came or somebody, they just left the door open. And you're like, just close the door. Can't you see it's so cold? And when they close the door, already the temperature has gone down. What will happen? The thermostat in your house will increase the temperature and bring it back to what you have set, because that's his job. So that is the job of your subconscious, to keep your money temperature. That's why when people win lottery, a lot of times they lose it and come back to where they were. There's so many studies out there where people win lottery, they have so much money, and somehow everything just goes and they come back to the same thing they were doing before. Why? Because you have a money frequency. So what we really want to look at is that, okay, when I see my bank account, I can see my money frequency, but how can I change my frequency? Because once you change your frequency on autopilot, you will just end up attracting more opportunities, more things, and you will end up acting in a different way. So this is really, really important. And again, I'm being very specific on that your money frequency is a number, is a specific number. It's to the finest cent. And if you get more money, you will manifest an expense. Maybe your car will break down. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe you will have this bill or something. And when sometimes it happens that when we try to increase the frequency, if we don't do the permanent change, you can go up and down as well. So even when we increase it, like I had this client of mine, within working with me for a month, she almost doubled her income. And then she started to feel bad. She's like, do I deserve this? I don't feel good. I feel really guilty. So if you don't maintain that, it can go back as well. But right now you have a specific frequency and it's very specific. It's a number. And what we really want to understand is that a lot of people teach money consciousness and manifestation through mindset. But the problem is it's not in your mind. That frequency is not in your mind. It has gone past your mind. So when somebody tells you, I'm a mindset coach, and I tell you to visualize, and I want you to affirm, and I want you to do all these journaling, they are dealing with mindset. But the frequency is not in the mind. It has gone through the mind. There are 3 stages of taking on a belief which is embodied in you, a belief which becomes who you are. The first stage is conscious. So when you say to yourself, I am a millionaire, your conscious mind says, no, you're not. No, you're not. So the first thing is agreeing with it at logical level and taking on the idea and saying, you know what, I believe I can be, like, I want to, I have this desire. The second part is subconscious, where you start to emotionally get involved with the idea, you start to feel it, you start to believe it. And the third thing is it's gone unconscious when it's in your body. So let me give you an example of unconscious. What is the first thing you do when you get up? Go to the toilet, brush your teeth, wash your face, look in the mirror, maybe criticize yourself a little bit or not. Maybe think about life and quickly brushing your teeth, getting ready. What is it? It's an unconscious thing your body remembers. So this is not conscious. You're not thinking, okay, I'm up. What shall I do? What do I need to do today? I need to go to the toilet. Yes, my body's remembering that the first thing I do. Then I brush my teeth. Then I wash my face. Then I change my clothes. So you have a routine. What is the routine? It's an unconscious program. And by the time meditation, I love that. By the time you are 35 years old, you are literally an unconscious program running on autopilot. You are literally an unconscious program running on autopilot every day, every single day. And that program has a frequency. So when a coach teaches this, that, okay, visualize and you can attract more money, why it doesn't work? Because it's not mindset. It's identity. Identity, who you are, is in your body. Because your wealth consciousness started to form even before you were born. So let's connect the dots to your past and let's see the connections and let's see the patterns. So when you were born, when you were growing up, what conversations you heard about money? When you said to your mom, I want this new toy, or I want this thing, and you were told money doesn't grow on trees. Why? You can't have everything you want. We can't afford this. You maybe saw your parents like budgeting, writing everything down, worrying and feeling anxious. So one of the things which is so crazy when I say that, but you don't feel anxious while spending money because you are running out of money. You are feeling anxious because that's a program, that's an unconscious pattern. You have seen your mother doing it, you've seen your parents doing it, you have seen other people doing it. Spending money, feeling guilty. Why? We will never have any money. Wow. Look, this. So you heard it from such a small, Emma, you heard it from when you were little, right? So that's now an unconscious program. And can you find the connection to your life now? So whatever experience you had with money when you grew up, when you were growing up, when you were a baby, when you probably didn't even know what money is, it's now reflecting to you. If you saw your parents really budgeting, you feel this fear in your body. And that is not a mindset issue anymore. That is an identity issue. Okay, so my mother used to spend all the money. Identity comes from the mind, subconscious, conscious. Yes, it's a belief system. So the difference between identity and belief is identity is an embodied belief. So let's say that I take on a new belief that I am really good at communicating. Let's say I've just taken on this belief because I would love to, right? And I decide I'm really good at communicating. If I keep embodying that belief, keep following it, keep connecting with it, even acting in alignment with that belief, that when I'm communicating, I'm feeling that, then eventually it will become a part of who I am. So it becomes a part of who you are. So it's no more what you know, what you think, what you feel, is this is who I am. So let's see what kind of things do we say about ourselves. Let's say we say, I'm a night owl. I don't like getting up in the morning. What is that? That's your identity. You think you are a night owl, and now you become a night owl. Let's say you're saying, I'm not good with money. So when you were born, can you show me on your birth certificate, where was it written that this child will not be good with money? Was it written? Can you prove it to me? Did God or universe or source send you that letter saying this child will not be good with money? Just to let you know the world. No. How did you decide I'm not good with money? And then it became a part of your identity. When we decided money is just enough, it became a part of our identity. When we decided, so let's think of this identity. Do you identify yourself as somebody who is very successful? I'm very successful. How does, and you can do a quick identity test. You know what is the best thing to do an identity test? Ask your body. When you say, I am very successful, what is the thing that comes from your body? Your body gives you that test. She's incredible with money, and she is, exactly. So whatever identity you took on, it just manifests. And then you become a match for that. So I'm not saying you don't have to work. You need the masculine, you need the action, but action is coming from the identity. I identify as someone who is great with speaking, right? Who's a great speaker. Then that I'll become a match for that. I will be that. And that will manifest. That means I will start attracting a lot of people who will listen to me. I'll start attracting a lot of opportunities because that's a match. So this is something, if you don't get anything from this program, and if you just get this concept, this will change everything for you. And I'm giving you something which I've spent my lifetime understanding. So this is huge and incredible, really important. In the manifestation space, there are different kinds of groups, right? Some of people say, just have to think and visualize and it will come to you. Have you heard somebody saying, I don't even need to do anything. Just money just comes, it just flows to me. And you're thinking like, oh my God, I don't know. I don't understand this person. And then there is somebody who's saying, you just have to take action, take action. And then there is that, and then you're thinking, should I take action? Should I not take action? When should I take action? How should I take action? Like it's all jumbled up. And it took me a long time because there is so much debate in the online space about this. When to take action, when not to take action, how should we do this? Am I doing it right? Why it's taking long? Is it taking long? It's not. And that's when I understood that right now, you are a match for something. Right at this point in your life, you're a match for something. And that is a reflection of your identity. And the way you will think and the way you will feel and the way you will act 98% of time is controlled by your identity. So even when you say, let me just work harder, you cannot outperform that. But when somebody says that I just breathe and money comes, what they're really saying is that I'm a match for money. That's why my thinking and my feeling and my action are so aligned to that identity. And I take action, but it's so on autopilot because anyway, we work on autopilot that for me, it's not even working hard. For me, it's not even working. It doesn't even feel like working. Right? Yeah. So I know, Jennifer, you're asking how to align. I'm going to show you how to align. We're just gonna cover that, and then we're gonna come on alignment. Definitely, that's the whole thing we're gonna cover. Okay, so what we want to understand is that currently you are a match for something, and what you are a match for is your feminine receiving. Feminine and masculine is not about women and men. It's about receiving. Feminine is receiving, and masculine is taking action. And both of women and men have this energy, right? So feminine energy is the most underutilized because when we were little, we were told you got to work hard for what you want. You got to do it yourself. You have to do it all yourself. But the tapping into feminine means that you are aligning yourself to become a match for something, and then you co-create with the universe. So there is currently a match for your current identity, and on autopilot, you're thinking and you're feeling and you're acting in alignment with what you're a match for. So even when you say to yourself, I need to work harder, you are still controlled by that autopilot program. Imagine that you have a laptop or your phone and it has programming, it has coding, it has codes. You have energetic codes for your relationship, for your health. The best example to understand is your weight. Like how many times people try to lose weight and that they do the dieting, they do everything, and then the weight comes back again because they never change the identity. They still identify as I'm somebody who's fat, who's trying to lose weight. And by the way, I love I am such a big fan of owning yourself and loving yourself unconditionally. The only example I'm giving you for the weight is to really help you understand that you have an energetic code even for weight, even everything, how you talk, how your relationship are, right? So when you're saying you align by making your subconscious and conscious, what we really want to understand is that it's not just subconscious and conscious, it's also the unconscious. You have to involve the body. You have to involve the body, because now it's way past subconscious. It's not even in the subconscious, it's the unconscious. It's what you are just so programmed to do. What is your identity, how you feel about yourself, how you see yourself. So our self-concept, our identity was formed by the time we were 7 years old. So it all happened at a subconscious level. So the subconscious became unconscious when we were not even really aware. So now it's stored in our body. And in my program, Wealth Fountain, what I really do is I get you to do this meditation where each part of your body talks to you, and it tells you, each part of your body, that where is what do you think, how do you really see yourself. So your throat, your heart, your chest, your belly, every part of your body is telling you that how do you really see yourself, what is your identity, because that was all formed at a subconscious level. So when we just look at conscious and subconscious, that's why visualization and affirmation and these things sometimes don't work that well, and sometimes they do, but sometimes it's like, I don't understand why I'm not feeling it, because your body is telling you that that's how you see yourself, and it's all stored in your body. You can, when you think about money, let's think about your bank account right now. Imagine you're checking your bank account. You're checking your bank account. Where in your body do you feel? Just open your bank account. You saw it. Where in your body did you feel that? Yeah. So what? So it's an unconscious. It's in your body, and your body is talking. Your body is so wise. It's talking to you. So when you said Emma throat, that means you don't really say. You try to really hinder what you want to say. You don't really say what you desire. You don't really express yourself enough. You keep yourself quite locked in. That's why there is a block in your throat. When you say your heart, that means you don't love yourself unconditionally, Jennifer. That means there's a part of you that you don't love yourself. Your stomach, that means you don't feel very confident. And with stomach, it's where your sexual and your power and your sex lies. So that means that you don't feel that confident in yourself, that you don't trust yourself, that you don't have that trust in you, right? In your knees, that means it's stored there. That means a negative feeling about money has never been processed. In your heart, that means you don't love yourself enough. You haven't opened your heart for you, right? So what we really want to understand is that your body is talking to you, because it's not, and I am the coach, like I always teach you identity. I have been through that. I've tried mindset for such a long time, and for 2 years I felt like there is something wrong with me. It never worked. And I used to tell people, if you tell me to visualize one more time, I'm going to throw up. I don't know if you can relate to that. Maybe you can't, but I used to say that. If you ask me to visualize one more time, if you ask me to affirm one more time, why is that? Because whenever I was saying those things, I was affirming those things, my body was rejecting it. So let's say to yourself right now, I am so rich. Let's affirm, I am so rich. The body's like, no, no, no. And what do you end up feeling? Not rich. And what do you attract? And money is like, I thought I can come in your life, but I still can't. So who is blocking money? When I did this work and money flew so fast, and you know what I thought? I was like, were you not desperate? Like you were desperate to come in my life. It's like, it's like pushing and pulling, like, can I come? Can I come? And I'm like, no, 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 no. So when you deal with the identity, that's how you really see you. And one of the greatest news, because I know Jennifer was asking me, how do we align? You can change your identity in an instant, like that. literally like that. Oh, I love this. I love this, Monica. I love this. And I have been that person who was asked to visualize. Just visualize. Why you're not visualizing? You're not doing your affirmation. Why are you losing motivation? I was the one who would show up, do everything, tell me what to do. I'm not somebody who I would do whatever it takes. Okay, how to get the body to agree. So this is what this is all about. And this program is really interesting because we will talk to your body. We will go together. And there are so many trainings that you attend where they just tell you the 5 steps or 10 steps or 3 steps. This is so different because you will get to know yourself in a completely different and in-depth way. I want you to know you. Enough of learning about so many things, enough of learning about manifestation and reading so many books. And I got to that point where I used to try to learn manifestation on an electromagnetic level. And I used to think of atoms and molecules. But until I learned about me, until I got to know me, it didn't work because you attract who you are. You don't attract based on how much you know about manifestation. Why do we end up doing that? Because in school, we were given marks based on how much we knew. But in life, you attract who you are, not how much you know. So if there is somebody who doesn't know anything about manifestation, let's say that they say, I don't even believe in that. But if their identity is intact, what's going to happen? They will manifest because they're a match. So let's get to know ourselves now. Let's get to know ourselves at a whole new level. So this program is all about getting to know you, you getting to know you, you understanding you, you letting your body talk to you, you really understand what do you see, how do you see yourself? Because let me tell you this, Jennifer, because I know you keep on asking me, how do I align? But once, if you want to change anything, you can change it like that. And I'll show you. That's why I'm here. We will change that. But if you don't know what it is, how will you change that? So first, we want to understand what is your identity. How do you really see yourself? What do you really believe to be true about yourself? At a completely different level, which is way beyond your conscious awareness. Because if you don't know that, how would you change? How would you realign? And you can change your identity just like that. It's that fast. So my mom received an inheritance. It made her ill physically. Oh my God, can you see that? Because your nanny always said, we are meant to be, we can never be rich. And she gave it all. Oh my God. And I have this client of mine, and I'm not going to disclose identity, but he said to me that I had £1 million, and I think it was pound in UK, which is slightly more than dollars, by the way. And he said, it just went away. I had another client of mine, and she started working with me. She said, I had so much money, I just gave it because I just didn't feel worthy. So she felt sick. Why? Why did she feel sick? Because the body is not supposed to keep it. Like, you digest on autopilot. All your systems are running on autopilot. Why this is different? You attract money on autopilot. How do you change clothes? You just like, no. How do you drive your car? Do you think, let me just go and change the gear? You're probably like sometimes on the phone. You shouldn't be on the phone. Never, right? We have strict laws here. You can lose your license. But sometimes you're thinking about God knows what, and we are driving. Why? Because it's all on autopilot. You know how many times like you're taking those turns and all those things. And let me give you another example, a very simple example. Let's say if I drop this paper that I'm holding on the floor, while talking to you, I can pick the paper up. But you know how my muscles bend? How I bend my arm, how I bend my body, what angles did I use? To be honest, I don't even know. Why? Because my subconscious did it. Even it's more than subconscious because now it's stored. I know how to do it. I can do it in an instant while talking to you within a flash of a second. Why? Because it's all on autopilot. Oh my God, Jennifer, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Jennifer. I'm really sorry. So what we are saying is that you are programmed, and it is not just about working hard. It's not about let me just try to find some course or something that can show me how to have side hustle. It's about changing temperature. And when you change the temperature, you attract and you act in alignment. What if you don't even have to think what you're acting? Do you think before driving? Do you really plan? No, you just do it. It's like, this is who I am. That's how I do it. What's so special about it? Right? So the other thing, I wanted to give you this example is that sometimes we think, and I'm taking this cup, I was drinking coffee in it. This cup has a capacity right now to receive water or coffee or whatever, milk. If I start overfilling it, let's say I get 20 big bottles of milk and try to pour it, what's going to happen? It will not receive a single more ounce than its capacity. So even when you receive opportunities to attract money, what will happen? Your mind will just filter it out. You wouldn't even realize, like, you have this reticular activating system. It's like a filter, which will filter those things which don't align with your temperature. Like, and now I'll use temperature because I know you really get it. Write in the chat question mark if you're like, what temperature are you talking about? I don't know. But if you do, then I'll keep saying temperature. Okay. So there is this argument that people, a lot of times my clients tell me that my 3D is not letting me manifest what I want. It's my 3D. Can you relate to that? Like, it's my physical reality. When I see my physical reality is far beyond what I want, I can't operate on that. I can't feel like that. I can't do that. It's my physical reality, right? But if I say to you, wherever you are, whether it's day or night, wherever you are, if it's daytime, then what guarantee you have that it will be nighttime? Write in the chat. How much percentage guarantee you have? Like, how much you know that it will be nighttime after? And if it's nighttime where you are, how much percentage you know that it's going to be daytime? Write in the chat. What is the percentage you know? You have like belief. Okay. So you're writing 100. No, everybody's writing 100. So when you're looking outside, it's light, but you still know it's going to be dark. Why? If 3D is controlling you, then why your 3D is not controlling now, right now? Because it's light. How do you know it's going to be dark? Because you just know it does every single time. You have this faith. But do you have that trust in yourself? That right now I'm not where I want to be, but 100% I'm there. Why not? Because it's not the 3D. It's not the physical reality. It's the identity. It's your concept. It's your mental program that controls you 98%. It doesn't even allow you to believe. It doesn't even allow you to think that way. So now let's connect the dots together. You have a money frequency, a temperature, and that is controlled. If we go deeper, that has an identity that is dictating that temperature. So beyond that temperature, there is how you see you. There are parts in there, right? So when I say earning a lot of money is very easy, let's do a body test. How many of you feel yes? And how many of you feel no? Let's be very honest. Like, what does your body tell you? Earning money is very easy. Yes or no? Most probably, yeah. So your body is telling you. It can be. No. But it's work. It's rejecting. Oh, I love that. I love that, Sophie. Thank you. I love that. No hesitation there. Okay, I love that. I know, Apia. I know after working with me, that's what happens. It becomes easy. I remember a few months ago what you used to tell me. I can't feel anything. This is very interesting. I can't feel anything. This is very interesting. This is really interesting. Stay with that, Rosie. We're going to talk about that. So what we really want to understand is that money is responding to your frequency, and all you have to do is match the frequency, but you cannot match the temperature. I'm not even saying frequency now, I'm saying temperature, the thing, because your identity is not saying those things. And changing an identity is really, really fast if we know what it is. And here I want to give you a very big example, which blew my mind. So how many of us know Beyonce? You know, Beyonce's real, like her, she was a very shy and a very anxious person who was really uncomfortable to go in front of big audiences and do like these things. And she was very nervous. And then she created an identity of herself who was really confident, right? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. How do we know its identity? So she activated an identity within her who was very confident, who can go on stages, and she even named it. She named it Sasha. So Sasha, Beyonce wasn't, I don't know if it's her real name is Beyonce or what, but Sasha was very, very confident. Sasha could do everything. Sasha could go on stages and rock the stages. Sasha could just take over. And now she's a billionaire, isn't she? That's the power of identity. That's the power of identity work. Okay, so let's really quickly cover, before we really go into the identity. I'll have to leave, but yes, there'll be a replay, Jen. Don't worry, there'll be a replay. It's a persona, a mask to hide behind. Look, this is a really good point, a persona, mask to hide behind, okay? When you activate your identity, your true self, you become more of yourself. You become who you really are. Because a lot of people say this, fake it until you make it, right? But I think we fake it now, because that's not who you really are. Are we not good with money? Really? According to who? Look, yes, so alter ego, the difference with alter ego is that you have two versions, right? You have one version who is this and one version which is this. What I teach is about becoming who you really are. It's not about becoming somebody else. It's not about becoming this alter person. It's not about you are this and you are this. It's about becoming who you really are. Reclaiming your identity. Because what you know in your identity, Anam, oh yes, I will. So it's so funny, once I was doing this call in Wealth Fountain, and I've been sharing with them over the period of the things in my identity. And one of my clients said that to me. She's like, your identities are reflecting, like they're there. We can see them. Your identities are there, like we can see their reflection. So, you know, the beauty is, imagine you have this huge identity box and you can pick the ones. And it's not about becoming like somebody you're not or becoming some crazy version of you. It's about realizing, first of all, becoming really aware. And like I said, uncovering your identity, understanding your identity, which your body is a huge guide to tell you what it is. Okay. And then saying, you know what, this doesn't serve me. This is not mine. This is not mine. I don't want this. And you can pick another one from the identity box. But the work where it gets really important is to really uncover your identity, to really uncover how you see you. And sometimes we don't know until we have the right tools. That's why this work is really important. I want to take you through it. How do you really see you? Who are you? Who do you think you are? In the other identity. Yeah, so we can achieve success in the identity which we really are. Okay, so there are some things that I'm not meant to be, I'm not meant to have, because that's not a part of who I really am, the way I was born, right? And there are something which let's say, for example, oh my God, Deborah, we are here, I'm here in your living room with you, wherever you are. Okay, so let's say that there are parts of me which don't desire a few qualities, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to be good at arts. I have no desire. So that means it's not a part of, it's never meant to be a part of my identity. I'm not good at painting, and I don't want to be good at painting. That's not something I want to do. That's not the identity I want. right? So what we really want to understand is that what you desire for you is meant for you. So when you see somebody and you're like, oh my God, I love the way you do this, or I love this, you're seeing a reflection of your identity. So the key thing, what I really want you to note here is that we are faking it until we become who we really are. So it's not about becoming a different person. It's not about copying anybody. It's not about taking anybody's role. It's about becoming who you really are, the way you were born. And when you were born, your subconscious mind, your conscious mind wasn't developed until you were 7 years old. So you didn't have logic and reasoning. And it's so funny, while I was teaching this, like my daughter just turned 7, right? And I remember one day she's saying that to me, Mommy, this doesn't make sense. And I was like, oh my God, she's now making sense. She, like, her mind is developing. She's logically analyzing that what they're telling me or what's happening. Now she's saying it doesn't make sense. But when she was 1 year old, and if somebody say to her, there is an animal under your bed, or there is a lion under your bed, or 2-year-old or 3-year-old, she would believe that person. Why? She can't say, it's illogical. They are only in zoos. When somebody said, I am this, or when they did the pretend game, they just went with it. Why? Because they didn't have the logical mind to say this doesn't make sense. But when I heard my 7-year-old saying for the first time, this doesn't make sense, I was like, okay, your conscious mind is developing. I can see that. So your reasoning got developed when you were 7, not before. So everything that went before, all the TV news, all the conversations, people around you talking about money, neighbors, your friends, your childminder, your aunts, your uncles, whoever, that all was recorded. Everything went right in. You couldn't say to your parents, it doesn't make sense why there is lack of money when there is so much abundance around us. It doesn't make sense to me. You just took it on. So by the time you started to have your conscious awareness, it was all recorded. It was done. But one thing is, you can change that. You can easily change that. And when you take on your truest identity, which increases your temperature for money, because your money's temperature is determined, it's encapsulated in your identity, that's when you become a match. That's when it's not about taking action or no action, when to take action. It's on autopilot. Let's not, you know why a lot of people get sick and they have blood pressure and they have other things? Because we were never told. I think the biggest thing we really need to teach in school, the first thing is how to use our mind. We were not taught that. So the conscious mind's job is not to figure things out. If I drop this phone right now, my iPhone, and I drop it, can anybody here, we have so many people on this chat, tell me all the angles I need to bend my arm, I need to bend my back, I need to bend, what angles am I using? What bones am I using in my arm? What muscles am I using? Can you tell me? Anyone? Why? Because your conscious mind is not supposed to figure it out. Your subconscious figures out. It's like your GPS in the car. You just write the address. This is what I want. I want to pick this phone. Okay. I want this. Okay. So when we try to put pressure on our conscious to find the answer, what happens? We feel overwhelmed. We feel anxious. We start to doubt. But it's not conscious job. The job of conscious is to make decisions, is to decide. And subconscious does the how. So when we ask our conscious, when we put pressure on our conscious, it's not running your show, it's the subconscious. And then it becomes unconscious. Yeah. But you cannot manifest something, you cannot attract something that doesn't align with how you see you. How you see you is very important. And the beauty is, you don't need to change anything about you. You just need to change the way you see you. And as you embody more different identity, different concept of yourself, oh my God. So even when you feel like, I need to work hard, I need to do this, it's all on autopilot anyway. You will work on autopilot. So let's take an example of scrolling on the phone. let's say you scroll on the phone and you're like, oh my God, I wasted half an hour scrolling on the phone. So annoyed with myself. Why did I do that? I should have worked. I should have gone after my goals. You know who controlled how much you scroll on the phone? Your identity, your belief about you. So if you are meant to manifest a certain temperature of money, your identity will make sure, your self-concept, your mental program will make sure you scroll on your phone so that you don't outperform that identity. You will procrastinate. Why people procrastinate? Because if you don't, then you will outperform your identity, your concept of yourself. That's why you have to procrastinate. Yeah, you can feel bad about that. And why do we procrastinate? So this is controlled by our nervous system that is controlling you. You will procrastinate, you will check your phone, you will just overthink. Okay, I'm going to repeat this. So let's say that you have a certain threshold, a certain temperature for money, and you want to increase that, but you don't increase your temperature, you just increase the number, right? And then you're saying, I want to do this. I will make sure I work really hard. I'll do all the actions. I'll make a list. I'll wake up first thing in the morning and do it. And then you realize you're scrolling on your phone for half an hour and you wake up. And you relate? You just woke up, you're checking all your notifications. Before you know it, it's half an hour. And then like, what is wrong with me? Why do I check my phone? Why do I do that? And then you realize that it's not because you plan to, at conscious level, you don't even want to check your phone. Why do you do that then? Why are you checking your phone? Because your mental program has to make sure that you procrastinate. You cannot outperform it. And they're like, oh my God, I overslept. Oh my God, this happened. And can you relate to that? Like you keep on having like different things in your life. And you're thinking like, now this is happening. I can't work on my goals. Like I have this and then this comes up and this comes up and my children does this and then this come up and this come up. Why it's happening? Why is it that other people don't get this and you get this? Why? Are you special? Are they special? Why? Because you're meant to attract those things because you cannot outperform it. You are, so from quantum, you are a match for something right now. And from psychology, it's your mental program. You see how they connect together? So what you attract and how you act is based on what you are a match for. You are a match for something, whether, like for some people, it's like, oh, I just go in a shower. And while I come out, I've just attracted 30,000. It's like, what? So you were paid 30,000 to go in the shower? No. They probably sent some email or they sent something or they launched an offer or they had something. But why it felt so effortless? Because that's their identity, that's their program. So let's say when you embody a new temperature for money, okay, which is 5x, 2x, 10x, whatever, then money will just come. Like you will just attract something. You will attract a client, you will attract an opportunity. So many times I do this, like I create different frequency and I do this work, which I'm sharing with you guys now. And let's say if I have a certain threshold, certain temperature, then somebody will reach out to me and say, I want to work with you. How do I sign up? So the biggest example of this was and I think it was the greatest thing that happened in some ways. I was running my coaching business. I was doing discovery calls at that time. Okay. And all of a sudden, my daughter got really, really sick. Like she has asthma. We had to like be in hospital in and out for 6 months. She was really, really ill. And I couldn't do discovery calls because I was in the hospital staying with her. Okay. Like I needed to, she's 4-year-old. I needed to be with her. But I knew my money frequency. I knew my temperature. And I knew that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I can't do discovery calls, although that was my way to attract client. Like that was my vehicle, right? That was my strategy. You talk about strategy, that was my strategy. So that means if I'm in hospital day and night with her, while my husband is taking care of the other kids, other 3 kids, how I'm going to attract clients now? Doesn't make sense. But funnily enough, my frequency never changed. Because that's what is on autopilot. So people reached out to me, they messaged me, and at the end of the next month, like when I was with her, it was the same amount. Isn't it crazy, like how this works? So it doesn't matter what the strategy is. There are people who do things million different ways. There are companies who have different kinds of strategies. It's about what are you programmed to attract on autopilot and what are you programmed to act. And when you have the right identity, it becomes natural. It becomes from this is what I do to this is who I am. This is who I am. How do you do this? This is who I am. It's easy for me. Like, what are the things that are really easy for you? Like, let's think of cooking. How do you make such a nice dish? Oh, I just do it. I don't know. It's so natural. Doesn't even hard work. Why? Because that's your identity. I'm great at cooking. You know how if you think from strategy perspective, how specific you have to be when cooking. Like, you have to put the right thing at the right time and mix it properly and add it properly. And if you screw one step, the whole dish can be messed up. Why it's so easy? It's your identity. What if we have the same identity for money? Right? So now what I really want to do is I want to, before we do the next session tomorrow, I really want you to warm up for tomorrow by uncovering your identity, by uncovering who you are. Okay, so tomorrow's session is going to be super interesting and like breakthrough after breakthrough. I want to just blow your mind, not for the sake of blowing your mind, but really getting to know you. Let's really get to know you. Let's really get to know you. Who are you? If you don't even know yourself, what's the point of learning about biology and chemistry and figuring out the geography and which countries where? What's the point? So tomorrow's session is not going to be, I'm going to give you 5 shifts or 4 shifts or this thing. I want to take you places. We're going to touch your identity. We're going to go deeper. You're going to see you. And it is not going to be like, oh my God, what if I can't handle it? It's going to be fun. Because you know the most beautiful part? You are a spiritual being. You are perfect. You're created in perfection. You are one with the source. You are so powerful. And whatever the way you see you, that's just how you see you, and we can change that. So there is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing we need to change about you. We just need to change the way you see you. So we will look at ourselves from the source, from who am I really am. If I'm created in perfection, if I'm created in the image of God, universe, whatever word resonates with you, then who am I? Like, what is my truth? So we will uncover our identity, not from the place of, oh my God, what is wrong? It's from the place of, I am perfect and I'm claiming it now. Enough is enough. I am claiming my truest self. I am claiming who I really am, not some version I'm creating or faking or acting. I'm claiming who I am. And when you do this work, I want to share with you something crazy. So once I was making coffee in the kitchen and I was like, I had this huge breakthrough and I thought, how was I not myself all this time? Like, how did I forget? How did I forget that I wasn't her? So you are coming back home. Yeah, Deborah, you are coming back home. You're coming back to yourself. Let's come home. Let's come back to ourselves with love, right? So there are a few questions and you don't need to panic and write them. I'm going to, it's all about, I love this, Emma. It's all about remembering. Yes, it's all about remembering. You forgot something about you. Let's remember it. Oh, I love this. I love this. It's all about remembering. Let's remember who we are. Yes, 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 yes. I love this. So this is more like a warm-up, okay? And I would, as I said, whoever does the homework, attends session live, we have a huge, huge giveaway for them. And that is because I want you to play full out. Like I said, I want you to treat it like a paid program because this can change your life. I promise this can change your life. This is really powerful, okay? So what we want to do is we want to answer these questions, but not answer them like, let me just answer them. We want to sit with them, okay? And there are quite few of them. So I don't expect you to like feel overwhelmed and stuff. Do as much as you can, but at least like spend some time with yourself answering them. Okay. Maybe you want to try in different settings, like you try once and then you try again. You go out in a nice environment, but really listen to your body this time. Listen to yourself. Okay. And this is just a warm up for what we are doing tomorrow. And tomorrow, I'm telling you now, I'm going to just blow your mind. Not for the sake of blowing your mind, but really getting to know you. Okay. So the first, and I'm going to post this, and this. I'm going to post this in the group. I'll send it to you via email with the replay. You will get all of that. So don't need to write it all out. You will get it. Okay. And I will, in fact, I can probably send it in the chat as well. Yeah, I can quickly send it in the chat as well. Let me just, no, it's not here. It's my desktop. Oh, where is it gone? Okay, I'm gonna quickly find the folder. Yes, perfect. I found it. So I'm also sending in the chat so that you have peace of mind that you have got it. I think I just put it up. Okay. So this is not same as affirmation. This is not same as affirmation at all. And I generally feel that affirmations don't work until you work on your identity. Because anytime you say something, you don't manifest what you say. If we say, I'm a millionaire, we all become millionaires. That's easy. It's about, and manifestation gets to be easy, but it's about when you say I'm a millionaire, what's the second voice you get? No, you're not. You can be, maybe. That's what you manifest. So you don't manifest what you think, you manifest who you are. Okay. So as a Facebook, yes, I'm going to put it in Facebook. I'm going to put it everywhere. Okay. If you don't believe it's okay. What is I'm just missing the, I think there's so many, can't wait. Okay. So I'm going to quickly do these questions as well. Okay. So you can read them. Who am I? I am someone who. So when you answer that, I don't want you to answer like, I'm a woman or I'm a man who is this year old, I have three kids and I have this and I have this. No. How do you really see you? How do you really see you? For example, I identify as somebody who's successful. I think I'm too slow. I decide things like really late. Like, what do you really think about you? What are your thoughts about you? Okay, let's download them. How do I love and accept myself unconditionally? And where do you criticize yourself? What parts of you do you criticize quietly when you look in the mirror, when you look at your bank account? Where do you criticize? Because where you're criticizing, that's your becoming your identity, your mental program, and that's what's manifesting. Do I identify myself as somebody who's successful, moderately successful, stuck, average, working so hard, not getting anywhere? Who do I really think of? What do I think of me in different aspects of my life? What do you really think of you? In your relationship, in your love, in money, in receiving, do you feel guilty when somebody gives you a present? When you receive something, when somebody's kind to you? Or when you receive extra money, or do you feel guilty for receiving? So what do you really think? What are your thoughts one of the things I want to see is that there are lot of your thoughts which even go past your conscious attention, but you feel them. Okay. What are my strengths and weaknesses? So you don't need to write because, I mean, if you want to write, it's fine, but we will cover all of that. But what are your strengths and weaknesses? Like one of my clients, she joined and she said to me, I cannot manifest anything. It doesn't work for me. I don't manifest. And now she's manifesting incredible things, like crazy things. She's just on her way to buy a property on cash. So I can't manifest anything. That's an identity you want to change. Manifestation takes very long for me. That's what you think, right? What makes me feel anxious and overwhelmed? What parts of my life and circumstances put me on a vibe of lack? There's a difference between vibe of happiness and a vibe of lack. Okay? Earning money is ... And why? Why? You can go back to your childhood and you answer that question. Why is it hard? Who said? According to who? So when you even look at this, ask yourself, according to who? Like, is it really true? If not, then I need to write, I need to report it. What do my friends, things, partner, parents, colleagues, other people think of me? So don't go and ask them what they think of you. Just think what they think of you, because what you think they think of you, that's what you think of you. It's so interesting. Like if you say, my husband thinks I'm this, you think you are this. That's why you're projecting it on your husband that he thinks that. Or if you think my partner thinks I am this, then that's what you think about you. Okay. What do I feel when I circulate money? Well, how do you feel when you spend money? When you swipe when you pay the bill, how do you feel? Okay. How do I feel when I check my bank account? That has a frequency, isn't it? How do I feel when I see someone with a lot of money? Do I see myself as rich? What do I think about rich people? What if I take you to Gucci or Chanel store? What will you do? Would you feel out of place, or you like, oh yeah? It doesn't mean you have to like any of the brands. It's just like, how does it make you feel? Or to other environments like 5-star restaurants, other places, right? How was money when I was little, and what patterns are repeating in my life? I have seen this copy pasted. Like there was this client of mine. She told me that when she was little, her mom used to take all her money. Whatever she used to earn, her mom used to take it all. And she was, I think when she joined, she was 50 years old, and all 50 years of her life she was scammed. So this is huge question. If you don't do any question, do this one. What are my patterns that are keeping money away from me? And what do I really think about money? This is also very interesting, because when you think about money, think of it as a person. If money comes to you and says, let's talk, what would you say? So I want to really explain to you why I'm asking this question, because I had this client of mine who said to me when she joined that I have been affirming for 2 years that I love money, and I don't see anything change. And I said to her, let's talk about this. So we had a call, we talked about this. And she said, when we started like going deeper, and I started asking about her childhood patterns and what happened and all those things, she said, you know what? I hate money. I hate money. And what we realized was that when she was little, there was really less money, and she wanted to please her parents by bringing a lot of money. So she would just sometimes take it from other people and bring it, like, or take somebody's money. And her parents used to have a go at her. They used to get annoyed that, why are you doing that? That's not nice. And she started hating it. That I try to get your love, but you still don't give it to me. So she connected that whole thing to money. Maybe you wanted to go on a school trip, or maybe your colleagues made fun of you, your class fellows, when you couldn't have that new thing. There's so many things that dictate your relationship with money. So really look at that. So I'm just reading the comments. You're online. Okay. Yeah. So what we are really doing is we are uncovering our identity, which is dictating our temperature for money. Okay. And I'm really sorry. I know we have gone a bit over, but I'm really appreciating for staying. But I will post this everywhere, in the email, in the group, everywhere. Sit with as many questions as you can. Okay. And tomorrow we're going to have a great, great time uncovering who you really are, so you can become a match. Because remember, you have an attraction point right now. Right now. You're a magnet for something right now. Okay? So have a lovely time. I'll share the recording as soon as possible. Take care of yourself, and I love you all. And thank you so much for so many hearts, so much love, and all of that. Thank you so much. Take care. Thank you.